As a second TERI victim makes serious allegations against Dr. R.K. Pachauri, claims of pressure and cover-up, cries of shame from the alumni has now ensured that he takes a back seat like he did the first time around. Before we tell you the full story so far, here is the latest statement issued by TERI a few minutes back. Aware of the damage Pachauri may have caused to the reputation of the organization, TERI claims the governing council has appointed an interim DG and that Pachauri's role is only to ensure a smooth transition. His fate, TERI says, will be decided in a key meeting on Friday. That's the damage control that's coming in right now from TERI's side.
If any of the directors can speak with us, it would be very helpful. Now, see sir, abhi I just spoke to Pallavi on this phone and now they are telling me Pallavi bhi nahi hai ma'am. Ab aap khud dekh lijiye how we are being completely and totally, no one is ready to talk. I just spoke to Pallavi from here. Like you were saying, you thought we were recording it. Pallavi se baat kiya, now she's also part of communication. She's given me her mobile number but you're saying she's not there. Then up the phone and use hati hai. How can we communicate with the communications at TERI? They only don't speak. It's coming across very badly.
That sums up the state of affairs at TERI. An administration that won't answer. And that silence is embarrassing all those associated with the prestigious organization.
This makes it very untenable for us as graduates, as alumni, to go on and accept his continuing role as Chancellor of the University. We were very clear collectively that we would not be accepting our degrees from Dr. Pachauri.
Facing a boycott and potential embarrassment if he hands out degrees to students, Pachauri has gone on leave again. But we all know that sham, a trick he pulled the last time around.
The Delhi police report says that there was a male researcher who had complained to them, who had put a statement before them that had stated that 4 people at TERI had tried to speak with him to have a reconciliation with the victim. He refused to do so and later he had to quit his job.
But what shocks India is this praise. TERI is convinced about R.K. Pachauri despite 2 complaints of sexual harassment.
So Dr. Pachauri has decided to go on leave. He is on leave and he will not be at the convocation giving out the degrees. That's something we have accepted.
So when did this acceptance from him come?
Today.
Huge embarrassment for him.
Well, I don't know embarrassment, but the fact that he has listened to the students is a plus. So.
The evidence, though, is stacking up.
Has Pachauri been using his clout brazenly?
He holds the most powerful position at the organization and he knows like people in and out in other countries and governments abroad.
These charges, it seems, are of little consequence as he remains the TERI superboss.
Back then also, I mean, there were talks about this kind of thing happening, but nobody was actually taking a stand for these things. And this time, when the current complainant, when she took a stand for it, we saw that how she was being discouraged, and some of us actually knew her personally. So that kind of prompted some of us.
A globally renowned organization, recognized for its contribution to environmental studies with the biggest names from India Inc. It's a shame that TERI has failed to fight for the rights of women on its rolls. Bureau Report, Times Now.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
The victim's lawyer Prashant Medhirata in this story which is being spoken about and has become a discussion point nationally. Prashant, welcome. And on the other side is Ashish Dikshit, he's R.K. Pachauri's lawyer, hanging on for dear life to that position regardless of the serial harassment charges which are now coming up against him. Most embarrassing the way R.K. Pachauri behaves. Malavika Rajkotia, senior advocate and human rights activist. Geeta Luthra will join us in a while. And Aryaman Sundaram of the Supreme Court, senior advocate. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. What do you make of this, Malavika Rajkotia? Let me start with you. You know, the way in which he's hanging on, or rather should I say the way in which Pachauri is being allowed to hang on. Designations being created for him. More evidence coming out about his misdeeds on a daily basis. The gravity of the charges against him very well known. Some of the doyens of Indian society in the TERI Governing Council letting him carry on. The only message which I get from all of this is if you're a powerful person, you can get away with almost everything. That's the message which is being sent out to our society. Malavika Rajkotia, why don't you begin the debate? Then we'll get Pachauri's lawyer to respond.
The message is, I'm actually not surprised because it's systemic misogyny. And TERI only symbolizes something which exists across the board in organizations, in homes, so and so, in workplaces. Right now we are talking about the workplace. And it's not just a question of one person, but it is the culture and the work ethic of a system that allows such misogynists to thrive because the fact that they are misogynist or chauvinist or whatever word you want to use is not central, is not seen as central to what they do. So Mr. Pachauri will be considered to be a brilliant man, etc., etc. And what does that have to do with his career? Because after all, yes, there is this scandal. That is the approach. And therefore, that is the approach which dismisses women, diminishes them, diminishes their persona. And what they don't see is that it diminishes them, themselves. That is a cultural mindset that is going to change, hopefully, as pressure increases. But just pressure is not enough. It has to be a change that has to come from within.
Yeah, it hasn't come from within.
Two words, systemic misogyny.
Yeah, he's become now, I don't know if he realizes this. I'd like to get Prashant on one side because he's the victim's lawyer. And then we have Ashish Dikshit on the other side, who's this fellow, what's his name, Pachauri's lawyer. The point is, Geeta Luthra, welcome to this debate. Ashish, your client, R.K. Pachauri.
Thank you.
And what can you say about him? The first complainant in which the allegation is that he sexually harasses a lady for over 2 years. He engaged in sexually laden conversations over email and text messaging. He's a man, 76-year-old, who tries to have romantic and physical relations with a young researcher despite her refusals. He makes forcible physical overtures to young women despite their protests. And he does this repeatedly. He cares scant little for what the woman is going through. The behavior of this fellow is simply obnoxious. An obnoxious sexual predator on the loose in a premier organization of this country, right at the very top. So I just, don't want to get into details here, but what does he think? Does he think he's going to get away with it? Tell us, what does he think? You must be talking to him. Does he feel very confident that he's going to get away with it? Because he has some media contacts and some political contacts. We know that he's friendly with media groups, for example, certain media groups. Do you think he's going to swing it this time because he's going to get away with it? Or does he really believe that he does not behove the position of TERI, whatever executive vice chairman, for a sexual predator to be sitting on top? Ashish Dikshit, please. And please appear to be serious even if you're not on the course of the debate. Prashant will respond. Ashish.
That was a very nice speech, Arnab, but unfortunately it's not the right platform. Your last comment that Dr. Pachauri has some good contacts in media is completely wrong. You see how this person is being tried by media day after day, reports after reports there are appearing against him. And please understand, you have made so many allegations against Dr. Pachauri.
Yes.
Do you know that since the day the complaint was filed till today, there is not even a single allegation on Dr. Pachauri that he has violated any law or any conditions which has been imposed.
Oh, okay.
From February.
So this is
High
not
Court
breaking the law.
Mr.
One
Arnab,
second, just
High
1 minute.
Court
Today we have the text of another complainant to recount her experience.
You are not a judge. Mr. Goswami, you are not a judge.
Ashish,
the judge is sitting in that court.
Yeah, sure.
No, Arnab, let me complete.
Today we have another complainant. Is everyone lying?
Speech.
No, you tell me one thing. Is everyone lying?
I will come to that complainant.
You genuinely believe everyone's lying?
Just let me complete.
Everyone who is saying that this
I am not saying everyone is lying.
No,
I am
all
not
these
a judge.
women,
You are
all
not a
these
judge.
women,
I am
all
only
these
going
women
by
who are saying that
I
we
am
also
sorry,
have seen
Arnab,
this
you may
man
raise your
behave
voice.
in an
You may
obnoxious
raise
way.
your
Are they all
voice.
lying?
This is not going to lead us
Are they all
anywhere.
lying?
I am only saying I am not judging anyone that whether he is lying, she is lying. I am saying there is a court of law, there is a rule of law in this country.
Yeah.
Why don't you follow the rule of law?
It's okay. Even Kalmadi said that.
The complaint, please see.
Yeah, even Kalmadi said that. Even Kalmadi said that.
Say that. Don't highlight Kalmadi. Don't publicize yourself on every show.
Now, I'd like to get Prashant Mehndi-Ratta, because if you want to give me the silly arguments of give me an informed argument. Prashant,
you first have to let me complete.
Prashant, no, I will know if you want to carry on like that.
Mr. Goswami, you have to let me complete.
Ashish, I'm giving your time is up. I limited time, so I can't let you carry on like that. You see, my view is very clear on this. My view is very clear on this. For it is a shame on the people of this country and for all the women of India that for 1 year this fellow has been continuing. 362 days ago, 362 days ago, a young woman filed an FIR of sexual harassment against R.K. Pachauri. Since then, two other women came forward with allegations that they too were harassed by Pachauri at the workplace in a similar fashion. Neither has this man, Pachauri, who is fairly shameless, resigned in the interim. Neither has he been sacked. Instead, there has been a specially created position made for him of executive vice chairman. What this means tonight is simply this, that if you are tomorrow a sexual harasser, a molester or a rapist, you will actually be incentivized to do so. This is simply assault on the wounds. I don't want to shout over you. Can the volume be reduced, please? 3 warnings, volume down. Now listen to me. The point is this: you cannot put salt on the wounds of the complainants. You can't have a mockery of justice in a criminal case of sexual harassment. You can't have a mockery of all working women. This is a classic case of harassed women being compelled to quit their professional jobs because an entire system works against them to protect the male at the top who has allegations of sexual harassment against him. This is a message to all the women in this country. Now, I don't understand this. There are 3 complaints alleged that there were people who were harassed in the workplace. 3 complaints alleged they were subject to unwanted physical advances by Pachauri. 3 complaints alleged sexually loaded remarks. 3 complainants feel that they felt uncomfortable around this man Pachauri at the workplace because he would force himself onto them. And they are not the only ones who face sexual harassment from Pachauri. And we actually are sitting here today, doyens and custodians of our system, saying, let the man continue. I'd say to set an example, if nothing else, Aryaman Sundaram, let the man be taken down tonight. And let there be an investigation after that. There has to be a sense of propriety at some level. But Prashant, the victim's lawyer, must be given a chance to rebut first some of the comments of Ashish Dixit. Prashant.
Yes, Arnab, thank you. Arnab, the unfortunate fact is that the counsel for Mr. Pachauri has not highlighted an important fact. That way back on 10th of July 2015, in the Delhi High Court, the Delhi police filed a status report. This status report is in my hand and it reads, Dr. R.K. Pachauri is not cooperating completely with the investigating agency, avoided giving proper replies to the questions put up before him during interrogation. Detailed custodial interrogation of Pachauri is required to ascertain the true facts of the case, as he is giving evasive replies to the questions / queries put up to him by the investigating agency. Pachauri is misusing the liberty of anticipatory bail and is influencing the witnesses by giving them certain directions as admitted by Dr. Pachauri during interrogation. Now, this sort of report asking for custodial interrogation was in the Delhi High Court on 10th of July 2015 in our petition seeking cancellation of his anticipatory bail. And today, another report was taken up by the Honorable High Court wherein the police admitted that TERI in fact had been influencing and asking a friend of my complainant to make my complainant settle the matter. It has been almost 1 year now, and nothing has come on record that Dr. Pachauri's custodial interrogation is not required by the police. Here is a man who is at the helm of affairs. He is at the topmost level of the hierarchy in the organization. And we require his custodial interrogation.
Yeah. 1 second, please. There's a little childish act going on right now. One second, just 1 minute. Geeta Luthra, before you respond, you see, what's your name? Ashish Dikshit. This Baba Black Sheep type of debating won't work. You can say the alphabet ABC, your mic is not off, so please continue. Yeah, don't do all this drama, it doesn't work. And and you also spelled mic wrong. Please continue.
Switched off my audio.
Anyway, no, it's not. 1 second. And anyway, now Geeta Luthra was responding. Geeta Luthra is responding now. So that's you've proven your mic was not off. Yeah, that's all right. Drama enough drama. Your mic is not off. Geeta Luthra, please continue. You were responding to Prashant Mendiratha. Please go on.
So what Prashant is saying is, I don't think is it's on very sound basis. The reason is that, of course, the police have said custodial interrogation is required, but it's not what the police say, it's what the court has said. I think it was additional district judge R.K. Tripathi who gave him bail and laid down certain conditions. He will not go to TERI, he will not do this, and now this court has in fact given him permission to go to the office. Now, as far as the Sexual Harassment of Women in the Workplace Act is concerned, it postulates that whenever a complaint of this nature is made, then the option is for the complainant to say whether she wants him or wants to permit him to come to the office, or whether she wants him to work in another office or another branch. Now, because he was so senior.
My question to you is, please, just did the Delhi police say or not that Pachauri is hampered with the investigations? Because the Delhi police throughout its investigation against Pachauri has always maintained
it doesn't matter. Delhi police will...
How does it not matter? Because he's a powerful man, it doesn't matter. Because he's R.K. Pachauri, doesn't matter. The fact is... Let me explain. Okay.
Can I explain?
Yeah, go on.
Can I explain?
Go on.
See, the police in 90% of cases will say that they require custodial interrogation. What we have to see is, what does the law say if a person has not interfered with investigation? One minute. Let me complete this.
Geeta Luthra, listen. Tehelka journalist Tarun Tejpal was accused of sexually molesting his colleague on 2 separate occasions during Tehelka's Think Festival in Goa in November 2013. He was forced to resign. Why should R.K. Pachauri not follow the same? Dominic Strauss-Kahn, head of one of the biggest financial institutions of the world, was facing charges of assaulting a 32-year-old lady in a New York hotel. He chose to step down from his post of managing director as a face saver. Why should that not apply for Pachauri? Fanish Murthy quit as director of Infosys following a lawsuit on the allegations of wrongful termination and sexual harassment by a colleague. Later faced the acts. Why should that not apply to Pachauri? And the Delhi police has said he is hampered with the investigations. As far as the point on bail is concerned, and I want to get Aryaman Sundaram in now. I want you and Aryaman on the debate now. I want you and Aryaman on the debate, and Malavika
Arnab, let me first complete. Let me complete this.
Yeah. Okay, complete your point.
Arnab, first issue is this, that the law basically postulates that he will not attend that office of the organization where the complainant is working. Which was followed in this case. It is only after the court has made the law.
Rebat from Prashant Mendiratha, I'm allowing it. Prashant Mendiratha, go ahead. Prashant Mendiratha is counting.
She was asked to She was told to
follow Mr. Goswami.
Please.
It was followed. He came back to work after 6 months.
He came back after 6 months.
Arnab, the grounds. on which I am asking for cancellation of anticipatory bail.
The question is,
there are four grounds. Ms. Luthra, just a second. There are four grounds on which I am asking for cancellation of anticipatory bail. The police has given concrete evidence why his anticipatory bail should be cancelled. The evidence is on record. They say that a person, an employee of TERI, has admitted that he was called by Dr. Pachauri to hospital. He got himself admitted in the hospital. Then he called one of the employees and directed him to go to police and say this and hand over these particular articles. Who is he to tell a witness what he should hand over and what he should not? TERI till date has not provided access to the internal servers. The internal servers carry out the evidence of sexual harassment. Ms. Luthra, just a second. I'm giving you facts. I'm giving you facts. Ms. Luthra, I'm giving you facts. Just listen. No, don't have to be sorry.
You're not giving facts.
I'm telling you the facts.
You are
Please.
giving.
Ma'am, I'm telling you the facts.
1 minute. You are giving.
Just listen to the facts. 2 seconds, my facts will be over.
What are the circumstances?
Luthra, TERI, why did TERI stop access?
We are not fighting. You're not arguing in court.
Yes, Geetaji, definitely we are not. I'm just telling you basic facts that TERI has denied access to the police.
No, you see,
to the server.
You see,
on which the sexual harassment emails are there.
No, look at this man. 1 second, please. Geeta Luthra and Ashish Prashant Medirata. I want Aryaman Sundaram hasn't spoken yet, and I haven't gone back to Malavika, and I go back to Ashish also. You see, please understand this. That Aryaman Sundaram, this man is a serial problem, not a one-off problem. In January this year, Aryaman Sundaram, a researcher who is known to the first complainant, quit TERI because he was allegedly under pressure to convince the complainant to drop charges. This is proof to the narrative that there is an entire machinery, there is a cabal of higher-ups and powerful people who are out to protect this alleged sexual predator. This is not something that we can disregard. How will the faith of society be entrusted in the law and order machinery if a powerful man gets away like this? This is my question to you. Yes, please, Aryaman Sundaram, and then we'll carry on the debate. Aryaman Sundaram.
Arnab, without a single doubt, we have to accept the fact that there is a club. And that club in TERI, the entire governing council, everybody, Pachauri is an integral part, a vital part of that club. And what is happening here is a very public person. If there's something, when there's a fall from grace, the fall from grace is always very steep, the more public you are. But the attitude, unfortunately, of the club, the first is, there are 3 stages. The first stage is brazen it out, pretend it never happened, trifle it, say it's nothing, and go on with life. When things get too bad and they can't continue that, the next is silence, avoid, put your head in the sand and pretend it's not happening. The third stage will come once they all start distancing himself. We have seen today that the second stage has been reached, and I believe that very soon we are going to go on to the third stage. Without a doubt, their cooperation with him all this time was in the hope that this entire mess would just quietly go away. And to that extent, I do believe from what has been argued in the courts that there has been insufficient cooperation from TERI to the police investigation, and that is what the police say. And if I had any doubts as to what police say, because I don't always believe what they say, the whole attitude of TERI in behaving like a club which is just cocooning him seems to me to give some justification to what the police are saying. And I have no doubt that there has been a lot of cooperation for Pachauri, and to that extent non-cooperation with the investigation. But I have noticed today they have now taken a back foot into silence, and I am hoping it will now come to the third stage of distancing.
Silence is also complicity. 1 second. Silence is also complicity in this case. To be quiet on a case like the case of R.K. Pachauri is also
but from loud complicity, now they've gone to silent complicity, and the third stage I'm hoping is that they will disown him.
No, but I am amazed at the hypocrisy of this entire situation. That same club, this is a club of people out here. They won't say a word when an 8-year-old boy is shot by netas in Uttar Pradesh. They will not talk, about R.K. Pachauri. They are the ones who scream the loudest, saying justice for Nirbhaya. And then they put out, give a forum to people who are rapists to go out there and claim their innocence in the Nirbhaya case. And now in the case of Pachauri, the club completely goes silent. I mean, if you are going to have a position on the rights of women and sexual harassment, molestation and rape, surely Malavika Rajkotia, the same process must apply everywhere. Whether it is in the Tarun Tejpal case, the Fanish Murthy case, the Dominic Strauss-Kahn case, or the R.K. Pachauri case. In this case, this club kept quiet. Malavika Rajkotia, why did the club keep quiet for 1 full year while this woman was fighting a lonely battle? Why were they quiet?
Well, I mean, very frankly, I'm not sort of particularly, like I said earlier, surprised by what is happening here. I mean, the fact of the matter is, this is the way these patriarchal systems respond. These organizations respond. And so therefore the issue is this club, I mean, there's nothing unique about this club. That is true of all large corporate organizations that are also male-centric. That is true of systems, even the legal system. It's just what working women have to deal with every day. And yes, the debate has increased. It's not just about why the silence of this particular club. If you want to elevate it generally to talk about why there are so many powerful men who think that they can get away with it. They are not stupid, they are intelligent, and yet they do it. That is because they think they can get away with it. That is the point.
No, but in this case, there's an internal investigation by TERI. And these are the points. Finds him guilty of sexual harassment. Pachauri goes around, runs, tries to find a stay on the fightings. If internally they have proved that he is guilty of the charge against him, and this someone needs to explain tonight, maybe Ashish can, that if you find that this man is guilty, and there is an internal investigation, and the investigation has done its job, and people on the panel have sat down and discussed it, and that they have found that this man is an absolute sexual predator, that the charges against him are true, then I don't understand for the life of me why you give that man a promotion and make him executive vice chairman of TERI and continue to be in that very workplace so that he terrorizes other women. I mean, this, someone explain that to me.
Then TERI as an organization is culpable.
Absolutely. Yes, Ashish.
They are all responsible.
Ashish and Malavika. Yes, Ashish. Respond to Malavika. Why?
Malvika, let me respond. Malvika, as far as this organization is concerned, you must know that out of 7 directors, senior directors, 3 of them are women. This is one of the only organizations in the country which has 40% of female employees. So, listen.
What is this argument?
To her, Mr. Goswami. Just for a moment. This is not an argument.
This is the argument which you are putting in court. This is the level of your argument which you put in.
There has to be interruption.
So you say because Naina Lal Kidwai is member of the governing council, hence by that logic, or because Leena Srivastava, scientist, is member of the governing council.
Do you know that there are
by that
20 orders, 17 orders which have been passed by courts in the favor of Dr. Pachauri?
Oh my God.
Are you going to sit over the judgment of the courts?
My God.
No, let him answer the question. Arnab, just answer the question. Ashish, finish what you were saying.
He will not let me answer because he knows if let me answer. He will not let me answer.
No, but doesn't matter.
You raised a question about the ICC.
Because, okay.
You raised a question about ICC. First of all, the procedure of the law is that till the time inquiry is pending, the complainant and respondent should be away. I complied with that, and for that matter, Mr. Pachauri was away from TERI premises for 5 months.
Ashish.
He only returned after obtaining permission from the court. Thereafter, since then, there have been 16 orders which have been passed by court, which says that Dr. Pachauri has cooperated and not violated any condition. I am surprised. There is some kind of rule of law on the basis of allegation.
Okay, Malavika.
I am saying yes. That report, I am coming to that report. That report has been said there is a stay operating against that report.
Malavika, go ahead.
Number two,
no, 1 second. Malavika is speaking now. Ashish,
on the last date of hearing, the matter was fixed for final hearing. Complainant did not even appear. This Mr. Goswami, you should verify these facts.
One question.
Yeah, Malavika, continue.
What happened to the report, the internal report that found him guilty of sexual harassment of the committee?
May I say, Malavika? You are as a lawyer, you would understand that the report was so bad that the statement of the witnesses which were recorded was not even shown to Dr. Pachauri, nor there was any opportunity to cross-examination. The appellate court has granted a stay on that report, and now the pleadings are completed. The matter, just a moment, the matter is fixed for final disposal. Complainant has not even appeared. He is not even appearing.
Malavika Rajkotia, please. Malavika, please make your point. Ashish, please be quiet. Thank you very much.
So, Arnab, here is your answer. There is that internal report on which they've gone and taken a stay on the basis that there is procedural error. Now, that's part of the process. There's nothing unusual about a person. I had done a matter like this against a public school for teachers who were similarly harassed. So the most natural thing to do is obviously to go into court and say there's this violation and that violation, etc. You get a stay, it gets thrown into the system, and then over many years later it will come up and they'll say yes.
First date of hearing, there have been
1 second.
Many
why would you say it's thrown into the system?
We are making 1 point tonight. I heard you all. Don't stretch a bad argument too far. You end up destroying your case. Ashish, understand the basic rule of law.
If you are sitting on a weak argument, you worry about your facts. When you compare Dr. Pachauri and Expel, you should be aware that allegations are completely different.
Okay, point.
This time your team has
now, Ashish, okay, fine. The point is this. Consider the glaring conflict of interest in this case. My point is of conflict of interest also. Aryaman Sundaram, just one point I want to make here before I get you back into the debate. There's a conflict of interest argument. There's a glaring conflict of interest in this case. Pachauri played both a petitioner and respondent for. Pachauri had filed a case in the Delhi State Industrial Tribunal against the Internal Complaint Committee that held him responsible. With his return to TERI, it becomes a clear case of conflict of interest, as TERI is also one of the respondents in this case. So you want to argue with me on the basis of legal mumbo jumbo?
No.
I can respond very well to you. The second point, if you want to go on legal mumbo jumbo, is you need to look at what the Supreme Court has said. What the Supreme Court has said. No, 1 second. You look at what the Supreme Court has said on an impartial probe. It will be relevant tonight, Geeta.
In which case?
The Supreme Court. I'll tell you the case. Just have the patience to listen. Supreme Court very recently, May 25th, 2014, observed the importance of a free and fair probe in the IPL trial, and in the IPL trial, and the bench had expressed very vocally how, in their opinion, Srinivasan should step down if a proper probe was to be conducted in the case. They said it was nauseating for the court to see Srinivasan sticking to the chair even when an investigation was in order. This same sentiment must echo in the case of R.K. Pachauri, who is readily accepting promotion. What? No. Would you promote Srinivasan while the IPL case was pending? You wouldn't.
No.
Why would you promote Pachauri? Because he's a connected man.
But there is a distinction.
Gita Luthra and then Arnab Sundram.
A distinction here.
Gita Luthra and Arnab Sundram. Yeah, Gita Luthra.
Yeah, 1 minute. The distinction in this case is this, that the probe was done at a time when the court had given an injunction to him not to go to TERI. Now that the probe is over, the matter is under investigation. Now, if the matter is remanded again to an internal committee, which is answerable to Pachauri, then that probe would be flawed.
That is a hyper-technical
But if
view.
it is a committee
Aryaman
over
Sundaram.
Pachauri, if it's a committee which is... But you have the court... the court is looking into the matter.
Let me respond
There
to that.
can't be a...
Prashant.
The only reason that they have cited and they have challenged the ICC report is that he was not given a chance. He was not given a chance to cross-examine the witnesses who came and deposed on behalf of the complainant.
So they should be...
That goes against the pith and substance. That goes against the pith and substance of the Sexual Harassment Act. The Act says... Just listen to me. Don't be sorry. Just listen to the law. Just listen to the law. Just listen to what the law says. Just listen to what the law says. The law says, what do you mean? The Sexual Harassment Act says names of witnesses have to be kept confidential. The names of witnesses have to be kept confidential. How do we let you cross-examine the witnesses without? So we will produce the witnesses in front of you and keep their names confidential. Those witnesses were working in TERI. Those witnesses were working in TERI. What are you talking?
Okay,
Very strange.
Eminent lawyers. Now here's a layman argument. Eminent lawyers. Here's a layman argument. You're the lawyers. I'm a layman. But at least I'm giving, let's put a common sense point of view. Aryaman Sundaram, let all this technicality and all is fine. You see, the sense I get is that Pachauri thinks, I'm R.K. Pachauri. I know everybody. And everybody in Lutyens, Delhi knows me. I am going to use all my legal prowess, senior, junior, middle level, good, bad, counsel. No, opinion. It's my opinion. I'm saying it's my opinion.
Completely incorrect,
it's my
Mr.
Opinion.
Goswami.
I'm expressing my opinion. Don't worry. I have a freedom for my opinion. The question is, please.
You are not here to give your opinion.
I am asking the question to Aryaman Sundaram. The sense people will get is, powerful person can afford very expensive lawyers. Very expensive lawyers will find many ways to stretch the case. While the case is being stretched, I will find myself a new designation. As I get into the new designation, I will buy time. As we buy time, I will try and exhaust the other side who may not have the resources that I do. As I exhaust the other side, I will also hope that my friends in the media will help me play down this whole story. As this story gets played down, I will then believe that public memory is short, and hence I will survive this controversy, regardless of what has happened. This is the sense. This is exactly how powerful people play it out. Now, in the middle of this comes an irritating constituent of a questioning media, which was not part of the game plan. But Aryaman Sundaram, are we wrong in believing that this is the way many people look at things? Maybe that's the way Pachauri looks at things.
Arnab, what you have just outlined, is the exact modus operandum plan of action that anybody who finds himself in such a situation would adopt. Some who have the wherewithal to do it more effectively, who have more influence than others, will do it with greater panache. Those who don't will do it with less. But please remember one thing. No, you cannot carry it out unless the organization which you're in is supporting you.
Well said.
And the fact of the matter is, here is this internal report. This internal report which has come out can be impugned by Pachauri in any court of law. That is all very well. But so far as the organization is concerned, that internal report is a report of that organization. And I don't expect the organization concerned to throw the report to the winds and pretend as though there is no report, take advantage of the stay and then promote the person. Now, all that he does, the entire picture which you have portrayed, is a picture which anybody will try to paint and everybody will try to do it is in a similar position. Those who have the organization which backs them can go through with it. But if the organization doesn't back them, and even if the organization doesn't go against them but at least remains truly neutral, this strategy will not work. If you feel it will work in this case, let me tell you the only reason it will work is because of the club. Whether the club consists of men or women or both is immaterial.
Time to break into that
club is because Pachauri is very much a part of that club, and that club is there to protect him.
Well, time to break into that club. and time to break that club up. I thank you all. The hashtag is Pachauri must go. Thank you for joining me on debate number 2. And Mr. Pachauri, if you're watching, morally you have no argument. Also remember that, Mr. Pachauri, beyond everything else, ethically and morally, Mr. Pachauri, you have no argument. Hashtag is Pachauri must go. Thank you for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight.